Shin splints, all things shin splints. We're gonna help do some exercises to help with that. We're gonna try to release the calf, adds mobility in the ankle, and strengthen the front of the shin, okay? So first, grab your lacrosse ball, and there's two parts of the calf muscle. There's the gastroc, which is the higher part, the bigger part, and then there's the soleus, which connects underneath and into your Achilles. We are gonna do this with both of them. Grab your lacrosse ball, put it in the middle of your soleus, so the bottom half, in the middle of the bottom half of your shin, essentially. I like doing it on top of this because then I don't have to make the athletes take their shoes off. You can totally do it on the ground, just make sure you take your shoes off. Otherwise, my heel would be, if I was doing it on the ground, my heel would be up and I wouldn't be able to relax my ankle, okay? So that's why we do it like this. So in the middle of that, we're just gonna bust through some of these. Ideally, you need to be on each muscle for like 90 seconds is what the research says. So just slight knee bend, and I'm in the middle. Slight knee bend 5 times. Big circle as you can, twice one direction, twice the other direction, and then flex as high as you can and relax. Flex as high as you can and relax. We're gonna do this 4 times, flex, relax, and then we're gonna rotate in. So now I'm on the inside of that same of my soleus, okay, and do the same thing, little knee bends, 5 of those, 2, 3, 4, 5, and circles. And if this is super tender, you just stay here, that's awesome. If it's, you could add a little bit more flex, so we just did 2 circles on each side, and now flexing and relaxing. If you feel like you can add a little bit more, rotate to the other side. You can put your other foot on top for added weight. You can't see what I'm doing as well, but little bends 5 times, trying to keep the leg relaxed. So that just adds a little, so you might feel it more. If that makes it super tender, don't do that, okay? Then just leave your foot off. Flex 2 circles, and then flex and relax. So with this, you're bringing your nose to your toes, or your toes to your nose as hard as you can, and then relax, okay? Again, 4 times. And then, so now we've done the middle, the inside, and the outside of the soleus. Now we're gonna move it up to the middle of the gastroc. And if you find it to be more tender, a little bit lower, where the gastroc attaches to the soleus attaches underneath the gastroc, then you can keep it there. Just you kind of just decide to roll around with it a little bit and find your most tender spot. So again, put your foot on top if you feel like it. I'm gonna leave it off so you can see a little bit better. But so bend, relax, just making sure your kneecap's up, so it's staying in the middle. After we do that 5 times, circles, twice one way, twice the other way. You're trying to go as big as you can with that ankle, and then all the way up, and then hardcore relax. All the way up, hardcore relax. 4 times, right? 1 more, good. Now go on the inside, so rotating our knee in, still bend the knee, relax, which is kind of hard to do with your foot relaxed, but try to keep your foot relaxed. 4 times. Now circles to one direction, to the other direction, and then flex, relax, flex, relax, 2 more, flex, relax, flex, relax. Awesome. Now switching sides, inside. So now when my heel is facing in, my toe is out, knee bends this way, trying to keep your foot relaxed. Runners typically have more issues on the outside, the lateral side of their calf. So this one might be a little bit more tender than the other areas. Circles, 2 times each direction, 2 times each direction, up and down, up and down. Of course, if you find a spot that's really tender or whatever, you can spend more time on it, but the gist of this and trying to get you back out there, 90 seconds is what most of the research says. Up, down, up, down, up, down. I would recommend that you now do some hops on that. If I do it, I will get cut off the tibia. Well, I'll show you. So now, just jump on this leg 10 times, compared to this leg 10 times. Do you feel that it functions a little bit better? Hopefully. Do 10 of those. And then do it on the other leg. But we're gonna move on for the sake of this video. Now we're gonna add some mobility. Here, it really would be better if you had your shoe off, and you'll be able to see this better with my shoe off. So the ideal situation is that when you are leaning forward like this, and if I had a rope from my knee, I could move my knee in front of my toe 4 to 5 inches, and with my heel on the ground. So in my case, let me turn this way a little bit. So when I do it against a wall, I usually have somebody put their fist plus their thumb. So like this far away from the wall. So, and then if I went straight down like this, I'm totally in front of that. So I'm good, but this might be really hard for you. And it is for a lot of people. Make sure that your heel stays on the ground. You're like, yeah, I can do it. If your heel rocks off, that's not right, okay? So this is just this assessment, but we're also just practicing. So holding your ankle with your hand, cross your hand like this, and you're trying to push your ankle back while you're driving your knee forward. And we're just gonna move through this like 10 times. Just go to the end range that you're able to do, and then come back, okay? Do that 10 times. And if it is too hard for you to get into this position, because I am like sitting and have some other mobility stuff, another option is to do it off of a box, okay? And this could be a higher box. And so same deal, just keep this back and you're just going as far forward as you can, okay? So then I don't have to have as much hip and knee mobility as I did when I was sitting. But so you're gonna do that 10 times on each leg, or at least on the affected leg, okay? Now we're gonna move into some strengthening stuff. So we released the back, added some mobility in the ankle. Now we need to strengthen the anterior and posterior tibialis, which is the inside and outside of the leg. Technically, if it's a real shin splint, then it's on the interior, so it's the posterior tibialis. But a lot of it's not, whatever. I won't go into the details, but we're gonna strengthen both of those now. So, move this just a little bit. One of my favorite ways is kettlebell, but I only have a really heavy kettlebell right now. So this is a 20-pound kettlebell, so it's kind of hard. But when we do any of the strengthening stuff for this, I want you to do a tempo. So that means you're gonna come up, you're gonna hold it up. So my heel's on the ground, I'm up as high as I can, and I hold this for 2, and then I slowly lower 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you don't drop the kettlebell, of course, and then up quickly, hold the top, 1, 2, then down 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you don't have a kettlebell, dumbbells with a band is also another option. Just put the band around it. So now I can do it with 5 pounds, right? It's a lot easier. Same thing, up, hold, 1, 2, and then slowly down. Up, hold, 1, 2, and slowly down. Another option that is a good idea is coming up and then keeping my knee staying here, but rotating my ankle. So you get all those muscles that are the ones that are inflamed and stuff with shin splints, working from side to side. Inside is actually the most important. But I would recommend you do the strengthening ones. Well, if it's too hard, don't do too many of them, but 10, but